Good afternoon and welcome to Tyler, Texas. This is Dr. John Grotho on the pregame show. Had a chance to talk to both head coaches. It's Tyler versus Paris, this last matchup of the regular season, a three-game series. Today will be a single 9, and then there'll be a doubleheader on Friday up at Hub Hollis Field on the campus of Paris Junior College. They moved the games back a day, and I think it was because everyone's trying to get their pitching lined up for the regional next week. So if they have to play on and I don't know, we got some weather possibilities later in the week, so they may have to play Saturday anyways, or even Sunday. But 3 games will determine some ordering. We have the 4 teams from Region 14 North are in. We know the 4 that are going to be in the playoffs. We just don't know what order they're going to be in. And so you got 1 versus 3 and 2 versus 4 this week. You got Northeast versus Navarro, and you got Tyler versus Paris. Those 4 all are assured a playoff spot next weekend. It just doesn't – we'll talk through the scenarios as we go through the broadcast today. But had a chance to talk to both coaches about that and about their clubs going into this 3-game series. Let's hear from Clay Cox, the longtime coach of the Paris Dragons right now. All right, we're here with Clay Cox. And, boy, I think the field is set, but the order of the field is not set. It's been a while since we talked to you, and you've had a similar run as the Apaches. You guys have really kind of played good baseball late, and talk about, what you've done since we saw you last and what you think about this 3-game set with the Apaches.
Yeah, I think if you look over the last 5 or 6 years, it's a pretty similar story for us, even in those championship years in 22 and 23. I don't know if there's been a better second half team than what the Drags are. If we can figure out a little bit of the first half these last few years, we're in a totally different boat. And it's the way this conference always is. I was talking to somebody about the other day, and going into Saturday with 5 games left, all 7 teams were still alive in the playoff race. And so it is nice going into the last week knowing that, hey, man, we're set. And so, we've had to really ride some arms down the stretch here. McDaniel, Thomas, Bowman, they've really had to throw, just about every conference outing, coming in and closing the game and then starting the next. And so getting some rest this week will be nice going into the regional, but still, trying to figure out, we're all within 2 games of each other. So there's, we've talked, there's a million different scenarios, a million different places you can go, and nobody's going to know probably till Saturday when it's all said and done. But down the stretch, I'm just proud of them. We faced a lot of adversity. We've got 3 arms that are all region caliber arms that haven't thrown at all in conference. And so, a lot of teams, you lose that, and there's no way you got a chance to get into a regional. And these guys have just fought. They're a really close-knit group, the family atmosphere, the brotherhood, and they're just playing for each other right now. We've kind of figured some things out down the stretch now. It's always going to be tough against these guys. You start looking when you're this tight in the race, you go, man, this game or that game, and coming here, we were a strike away in an extra, before an extra inning game with 2 outs. And, it's like, oh, man, that one or this one. But you can't think about those things. You just got to think, hey, man, we're in. It's the 5th out of 6 year we've done it. It's our 6th straight 30-win season. So I'm proud of them to continue the tradition that we built. And now it's just it's house money. Let's all go play and see what happens and have some fun this week and try to get some guys some at-bats and get set up for that regional run. So.
Well, this is a matchup of the only 2 in the conference that are 30 or higher in wins. So that's kind of cool to think about. The other thing that's interesting about the matchups in conference this week is that, 1 plays 3 and 2 plays 4. Somebody's got to win those games.
That's right.
And so unfortunately, it's not as easy as, hey, if we sweep and they get swept, because somebody's going to win some of those games. So I don't have a brain capacity to figure all that out, but it'll be fun. And I'll be scoreboard watching the next couple of days, as I'm sure you and Brett will as well. But you've gotten good. Obviously, Diego and Bankson have really led the way offensively. But on the mound, you said Jackson a minute ago. He's been a workhorse for you. I think Nick started last Wednesday. Is he going to start today?
He's not. Okay. Those guys, all 3 of them had to throw both sets last week. And so we're going to go with Ryder Callaway today. He's got some midweek starts, got a good arm. Sometimes the pitchability it just gets in his way. But when he's on, it's a really strong arm. He's a big-bodied guy and has plus stuff. And so we're going to give him a go and try to get these guys rested up for the weekend. And, after we've had to ride them so hard. And, Diego and Bankston, a number of guys. That's one of the of things, this group, there's always somebody been coming up. Gonzalez has been playing with a torn meniscus for the last month and then dislocated a finger at Panola the other day, diving back into a bag, and he hasn't missed a game. It's just who he is. He's been the heart and the order, and we've got a lot of guys that have come up in different spots when needed. And so, those two have definitely been catalysts, but it's been 1 through 9. Somebody's found a way every day to get it done.
It's always helpful to have those dirtbag type of guys that rubs off on the other guys in the dugout. So you're a different team this year. If you look at some of the numbers, traditionally you love to run, and you guys are 7th in stolen bases. Power numbers are, not that means a whole lot because everyone's going to be 0-0 here in a week. So talk about the style of baseball that the Dragons have had to play this year.
Totally different, and you're 100% right. You've seen us enough to know. We're usually top 10 in the country in stolen bases, and we bang. And I think we got over 100 doubles. We've got
doubles. You guys are right among the leaders in the conference.
And we're not running the ball out of the yard a lot. But we knew in the fall we had a rough fall. It wasn't our traditional style. We're not as burner on the path as we normally are, so we had to fix some things. Now, we have been, just about every year we've led the nation the last few years and fewest strikeouts per plate appearance. And so we've built off that, and it's been about OBP. If you look, we're almost plus 100 walks to strikeouts. We're averaging less than 4.5 strikeouts a game. We lead the country in hit by pitches. And so, we're just finding ways to get on, and our whole thing is chip away, get on base, and then that big hit comes. And so, we just – sometimes we've been out there, we've run 7 or 8 run innings and had 1 or 2 hits, and so you got to throw strikes against us. And we don't strike out a lot. And so that's kind of who we are. We're not running as much, but we're trying to put more guys on the bases with the OBP, and it's worked out for us up to this point. And so we've just, you have to mold to what you've got. In this group, it's kind of what we have, and they've really bought into the approach. And so when you get a group that buys into an approach and sticks with it, then you can have some success. So,
well, it speaks a lot to you because, you certainly have a style that you like to play, but when you got a club that's got a little different skill set, you're still adjusting, you're still doing some really good things. So the other thing I just want to continue to affirm you guys is thanks for pouring into these guys. These guys are going to remember the battle to get to playoffs, and hopefully you got a nice run here in front of you, right? Because depending whether you go to Northeast or whether you go to Navarro or Blinn, it doesn't matter. You're going to have a playoff experience with these guys, and they're going to remember that. So thanks for leading these guys. Thanks for teaching them the bigger lessons. I'm so glad to see you back at the ballpark, man. A year ago, we were all kind of praying for you, and it's so good to see you back enjoying the game and getting into the numbers with me.
For sure. No, it's always great to talk with you, and, we really do appreciate it and all you do. And it's always great to get down here to Mike Carter. And you're right, man. This group has got we talk about it all year, man. Just clinch that regional, and it's a totally different feeling, and it's going to be worth it. We tell them all the time, it doesn't matter if, we have a reunion 10 or 20 years from now, somebody's not going to be able to make it, whether it be a baby or something in the family. And so, this last month is the last time we'll all be together, and so we got to soak up every minute. And the more we win, the longer we get to do that. And so that's the hope, right? Is that they're going to get this playoff experience, and this brotherhood continues, and see if we can't do something fun.
Well, congrats on getting a good program and continuing to drive for excellence. Clay, thanks for taking time.
Hey, thank you so much. Appreciate you.
All right, big shout out to Clay Cox. We'll get to Brett Doe between innings. We are underway here in Tyler, Texas. Dr. John Groth with you on the call. First batter of the ball game is Zach Henderson. Sophomore left fielder will lead it off for Paris. We'll walk through the lineup here momentarily. Just getting going. On the mound for the Apaches is Jackson Jordan. Foul ball off to the left side, and the count's 2-2. Zach Henderson's the leadoff hitter. He'll play left field. The right fielder, Grant Moore, will bat second. Shortstop Bankston Lemke will bat third. Batting cleanup is Nadav Macklin, the second baseman. Batting fifth, the DH, James Gonzalez. Next pitch, in there for a strike. And the first batter of the game will have to go back to the bench looking on the strikeout. 1 out here in the first. Here's Grant Moore, the right fielder. Sophomore. Grant Moore listed at 5'10", 190 out of Southlake, Texas. Southlake Carroll High School product. He'll step in from the left side as well. So James Gonzalez is the DH in the 5 spot. First baseman Jordan Coronado will bat 6th. Batting 7th is the third baseman Javier Rodriguez. Batting 8th is the catcher Johnny Gifford. And batting 9th for the Dragons, center fielder Austin Marlin. On the mound for Paris, Ryder Calloway. Next pitch popped up left field side, This is Racek coming in, calling everyone off, and he'll make the catch. 2 outs. So F7 if you're scoring at the house. 2 up, 2 down here in the Paris Dragon first inning. Here's the 3-hitter, shortstop Bankston Lemke. Bankston Lemke listed as a sophomore, 5'10", 195. He's from Klein, Texas, and Klein High School. I had a couple of nephews come through the Klein baseball program and back in the day. That ball's pretty well hit to left field, but it's going to hang up, and Racek's got room to make the play and does so for the final out. 3 up, 3 down, a non-eventful inning. 8 pitches for Jackson Jordan, and we're through 1/2 inning. We're playing a single 9. Real baseball today at Mike Carter Field. Glad you're with us. We'll be back in just a moment. Let's hear what Coach Doe had to say just a few minutes ago down in front of the Apache dugout. All right, we're here with Apache coach Brett Doe, and, well, here we are. Last home game of the season. And, boy, congrats on you're in. It's just a matter of where.
Yes.
And the order of things. And the way things are falling, I just got done talking to Clay. You got 1 versus 3. You got 2 versus 4. Sometimes you can kind of figure out what you need to do, but in this case, you really can't because somebody's got to win those games.
Yes.
You can't just count on someone losing.
Yes.
So it's really kind of complicated, and I don't think my brain can handle trying to figure out the possibilities. But the good news is we are in to the regional tournament.
Yes.
And these are important games. So it is an interesting thing, though. And I don't know how you manage these games. Is it any different? Like, what's your mindset going into these games with Paris? 3 games with Paris. You know, you do have a chance to host still.
Yes. Still have a chance to host. We need to win out and get help to host.
Right.
And so that is in the back of your mind. And obviously, you know how it is, Coach. You as a competitor, you can sit there and think like, we need to be ready for the postseason in this, but when the umpire says play ball, you really want to win.
Let's go.
So,
well, today's game, you got a little more time between now and regionals. Saturday or Friday.
Yes.
Now you start getting closer, and you're probably going to look at the pitchers you use, that kind of stuff. But, man, I would think that as long as that host thing is still out in front of you,
yes,
you want to push the pedal to the metal and try to
prioritize that. And
right.
we would love to play more games at Mike Carter.
Right.
You know, this could be the last game of the year.
Let's
here,
hope it's not.
or we could play a few more and host. And if we get the 1 seed, that increases our chances of hosting a super if we were to win the regional. And so they are big games. We're trying to win. And
so how does that work if both ones win?
Neutral site at that point.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And so
thank you, sir.
Yeah, we're going all out today to try to win this one. We played yesterday, so we have some guys
Short
who are
rest,
tired and everything, but I think that's also
baseball's
good.
that way, man.
Yes,
it's not like football or basketball.
That's
plenty of days where you got to go back to back.
Absolutely, and that's what I told them.
And in a tournament, you're going to have to do it.
It's what you have to do it in the tournament.
Yes.
It's what you have to do it at the next level, whether you go Division I, Division II, Division III, anywhere.
Right.
You
Pro
play
ball, you
back-to-back
get
days.
1 day off a month in
Yes.
minor league baseball. We both know
Yes.
that.
Yes, they have no idea what tired is if they think they're tired today. But so I thought that was good for us to do that, and we got a lot of guys in yesterday. We're going to continue. You know, I feel like our roster is sharp right now.
Good.
Obviously, everybody's dealing with some bumps, some bruises, some injuries at this point, and so we're trying to balance that, ramp some guys who have been injured up into being at their best going into the postseason, and try to keep guys hot that are hot, and get guys hot that aren't that way right now. And so trying to balance that within the framework of winning 3 baseball games this week.
Well, I think your pitching is the starters you're getting some pretty good starts down the stretch here. You guys are both in a similar place. You're both kind of running into this playoff time on streaks. You know,
Yes.
you've won a lot of baseball in the last 3 weeks. Both of you have. So
Yes.
Jackson's going to get the ball today. Talk about him and what you're hoping to get out of him.
Jackson's he's made a big step for us and has helped our staff in a big way in these single games where we know what we're getting from a competitive standpoint with him, and he's just a strike thrower, you know.
Okay.
So we're hoping he has multiple of those pitches for strikes, and he's just himself today. We don't need anything extra. We just need Jackson Jordan to be Jackson Jordan, and we got the wind kind of shifting around.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see what
it's
that
a
does.
hot,
and how it
muggy
affects.
day. Supposed to get to 88 today, so stay hydrated.
Yes.
Keep your guys hydrated because it's going to get hot on this turf,
Yes,
I'm
it
sure.
is.
So.
But we have Jackson. We have a full rested bullpen behind him, and so Paris is number 1 in the league of not allowing walks on the mound, and so hopefully we can replicate that on our side. And not many free bases either way today. So
well, I'm looking forward to calling this game. It's really the table setter for, I don't know, it depends on how today goes, obviously, but it's really fun to think about the possibilities of this week being a special one for the Apaches. I hope today's a special one for you guys. Thanks for taking time. Hope today goes well.
Thank you, Coach. Go Apaches.
All right, big shout out to Brett Doe, giving me some of his pregame time. And right off the bat, James Rasek broke up the no-hitter. Hit a ground ball to short that went off the glove of Lemke and into left field. And then the next batter was Davis Perkins. He drew the walk. And now with 2 on and nobody out, it's Landry Stamps. By the way, Rasek yesterday, quite the day. Had a home run and a double in a slugfest. Looked like a football score, 21-16 at Weatherford. Swing and a miss by Stamps, 1-1. But Rasek was 2 for 3. He scored 3 runs and drove 3 runs in. He had a double and a homer in that game. So he's at second right now. And Davis Perkins is at first base after drawing that walk. And Perkins was 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs and 2 runs scored. So a lot of offense yesterday by the Apaches. But unfortunately, they gave up a lot of runs. So they scored 16. That wasn't enough. How many baseball games are you going to lose when you score 16 runs? But that was the case yesterday. And, boy, I think Coach told me you gave up 11 free passes, walks. That's just not going to get it done against a good Weatherford team who's nationally ranked right now, by the way. And we'll go through the national rankings as we go through this broadcast because they just came out yesterday, the new ones. And I think there's 5 or 6 teams in our region, including LSU Eunice, who's in Louisiana. But, Blynn's in there, Grayson's in there, Weatherford's in there, McLennan's in there, teams that we have played. And so the 3-1 pitch to Landry Stamps is going to miss, and it's back-to-back walks, and the Apaches have the bases loaded here in the first inning. Second walk issued by starter Ryder Callaway. And here's the cleanup hitter, Micah Roberts. After Roberts, the cleanup hitter, it'll be right fielder Garrett Hayes batting 5th. Batting 6th is the second baseman Cal Fingelson. Batting 7th, the center fielder Ben Koch. Batting 8th is the DH Noah Felton. And batting 9th for the Apaches is the catcher Chase Fuentes. Defensively for the visiting Paris Dragons, the Dragons are 31-17 on the year and 15-12 in conference play. That's good for 4th place. They have secured a playoff spot. This matchup, by the way, puts the only 2 30-win clubs in the conference against each other. Paris has got 31 wins. They're 31-17. The Tyler Apaches are 30-18. And so some good baseball in store this week for both these clubs and all their fans. Micah Roberts steps in with the bases loaded and no one out. And he's facing Ryder Callaway. Get his numbers here momentarily. First pitch is in there for a strike. Defensively for the Dragons, Zach Henderson in left, Austin Marlin in center, Grant Moore in right. Around the infield, Javier Rodriguez at third, Bankston Lemke at short, Nadav Macklin at second base, Jordan Coronado at first, and Johnny Gifford behind the plate. The 0-1. Got jammed, popped him up over toward the dugout on the Paris side, and there's your first out. Boy, Roberts probably swung at a pitch he regrets there a little bit. That's going to be P05. Good pitch by Callaway. Ryder Callaway, 6'3", 220, a right-handed freshman out of San Angelo, Texas. 1-0 with a 6.55 ERA. 11 innings pitched, 14 strikeouts, and 14 walks. This is his 8th appearance of the year and his 5th start for the Paris Dragons. First pitch swung on and missed by Garrett Hayes. And Garrett Hayes had a nice ball game. He had a home run yesterday. Apaches had 4 homers. Rasek homered, Hayes homered, Davis Perkins homered, and Landry Stamps homered yesterday in a 21-16 track meet at Weatherford. And the Apaches had a 6-0 lead and turned around in the bottom of the second, gave up 8 runs. And from that point on, it was just back and forth. Both teams had 5-run innings after that. In fact, Weatherford had 2 5-run innings, one in the 5th and one in the 7th. And that one in the 7th really did the Apaches in. The final score was 21-16. Weatherford would score 21 runs on 18 hits. Apaches would score 16 runs on 13 hits. 2-1 the count on Hayes. Fouled straight back. Boy, just missed a fastball. Good rip right there by the redshirt freshman right fielder, Garrett Hayes. And the Apaches, boy, they need to take advantage here. Full bases are full of black jerseys. And only one out as Ryder Calloway, the freshman from San Angelo Central High School, tries to wiggle out of trouble. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Got him. Boy, some good heat on the high fastball, and Hayes chased it for out number 2. First strikeout of the game for the big righty. And now it's Cal Fingelson. And his countryman, Travis Bazana, getting called up to the big leagues today for the Cleveland Guardians. So kind of excited about that. Talked to his granddad, Frank, who's here in the ballpark today. Normally we're talking to him halfway around the globe. And it's so good to see him enjoy some of his grandson's baseball. So first pitch in there for a strike. Boy, tell you what, it would be quite the feat if Callaway can get out of trouble here with a 0. He's a big right-hander, and he's got that big leg kick and throws across his body big time. But right now, he's just a couple pitches away from getting out of trouble. 0-1 to Fingelson. And that's high. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Apaches wearing their black tops with the pinstripe pants today, black socks, and the black ball caps with the Apache logo on the front. Tyler across the front of their jerseys. Paris wearing their gold tops with the gray pants. Got the forest green socks and the forest green. That hit him. And Fingelson will get the RBI on the hit batter. So the Apaches will take a 1-0 lead here. Everybody moves up a spot. And now it's Ben Koch with the bases loaded. Well, it doesn't matter how many outs there are when you score runs. You just need to score them, right? Ben's got a chance now to maximize this inning for the Apaches. Base hit by Rasick, a walk to Perkins, another walk to Stamps, a pop-up by Roberts. Hayes struck out, and Cal Fingelson just got hit by a pitch. That's what's happened here in the Apache first. They lead 1-0 as Ryder Callaway tries to work his way out of a jam in the first inning. He has thrown 24 pitches. Next pitch. And that's going to miss. 2 balls and no strikes to center fielder Ben Koch. Next pitch. That's going to miss high. 3-0. Well, you'll take him any way you can get him here. As Ben Koch tries to navigate a walk here. 6'4", 200 out of Bullard. The 3-0, he's going to show bunt, pull back, and pitch is called a strike. 3-man umpiring crew today. Good to see that extra set of eyes out there. First half of the year seemed like we had just 2 guys out there. Had a few games with 4. Game time temperature 82 degrees, 68% humidity, really sticky. The 3-1, that's going to miss high, ball 4. So a hit batter and a bases loaded walk, and the Apaches are leading 2-0 now. As Perkins comes home to score the second run. There goes Boone Prevette, the pitching coach, out to the mound. And as we said, this weekend the games, the 4 teams in Region 14 are already decided. It's just a matter of who finishes where. We were up here the other day trying to figure out because the website wasn't up to speed. Well, it's up to speed now. And truth be told, I might have barked at a few people about that. And Northeast Texas is at the top of the pile, 17-10, just 1 game ahead of both Tyler and Navarro at 16-11. And that's going to be all. We're going to have a pitching change for the Dragons. So that'll be all for starter Ryder Callaway. And it's number 12. So we'll take a bit of a break here and try to gather some information on the new pitcher for Paris and be back in just a minute. All right, the new pitcher is not on the roster. So we're having to do our crack research team is on it. Riley Wood is the new pitcher. He's a left-handed, we're not sure what year, but could be a sophomore. He's a 25 high school grad from North Richland Hills, Texas. Pitch is going to miss low. 1 ball, 1 strike to Noah Felton, the DH. And the Apaches trying to maximize with 2 outs. As Fingelson got hit by a pitch with 2 outs, and Koch got walked with 2 outs, and then the pitching change came. And Riley Wood now behind 2-1. Boy, not a fun situation. How would you like to come in? First inning, bases loaded, and no room for error here. He's got to come in and immediately throw strikes. 2 balls and a strike. Wood the set. Wood the pitch. Hammered into the left field hole. That's a base hit. 2 runs are going to score. And the Apaches will take a 4-0 lead. And down to second goes Felton on the throw. So Noah Felton comes up big right here. A 2 RBI single into the 6 hole. And good base running by the Apaches as they get a couple more runs. And they are maximizing here. And boy, with the bases still loaded, or actually, sorry, second and third now. You got 2 in scoring position, and the 9th batter of the inning will step to the plate in Chase Fuentes. And that ball's way inside, ball 1. Six foot, 195. Is what Riley Wood's listed at. That ball's hammered into the left field corner. Could be trouble. It is. 1 hops the wall. 2 more runs are in. The 9-hitter Chase Fuentes slides safely at second, and the Apaches jump out 6-0. Boy, good piece of hitting right there by Chase Fuentes. And you talk about maximizing an inning. The Apaches have jumped out, and all of this is with 2 outs. They got the bases loaded with no one out, pop up, and a strikeout. Since then, it's been hit batter, walk, single, double. And now it's James Rasek for the 2nd time in the inning. So you got to like the start here for Tyler. Paris very capable of coming back. And we're going to play a real baseball game here, playing a 9-inning ball game. So they'll have their opportunities. But you like the start for the Apaches. Boy, Rasek chases one out of the zone for strike 1. James Rasick, 225 on the season, 7 doubles, 6 homers, 25 driven in. Here's the 0-1. He kind of slowed his bat down just to hit that. A really awkward looking. He has not had the two pitches that Rasick has seen against Riley Wood. Really hasn't taken that aggressive cut. He just kind of felt for that last one. Now it's 2 strikes. You got to go to work here. And you got to keep battling. The kick and the 0-2. Grounder, third base side, going to go foul. And Rodriguez picks it up. Well, one of the most famous, perhaps the most famous Paris Dragon of all time, Stubby Clapp. You know who that is? Nobody knows who coaches in the big leagues. I'm almost sure he's first base coach for the St. Louis Cardinals. But Stubby Clapp was just what you think. He was kind of a stubby little guy, but he played hard, man, and I'm pretty sure he's first team all-conference, played some pro ball, and eventually got into professional coaching. And I'm almost sure he's the first base coach for the St. Louis Cardinals right now. And it's kind of cool to see a guy from Region 14 North, right, make it all the way to that level. And he's stuck. He's been a coach for a while. So Stubby Clapp is probably, in my time, 34 years of coaching and broadcasting, perhaps the most celebrated Paris Dragon. But if there's Paris fans out there that want to dispute that, by all means, let me know. Swing and a miss, and Rasick goes down swinging. And that'll be strikeout number 1 for relief pitcher Riley Wood, who ends up getting out of trouble here in 12 pitches. But damage has been done as the Apaches, with 2 outs, put 6 on the board. We're going to the second inning. Tyler leads it 6-0. Back in just a minute. Welcome back to Tyler, Texas. It's a overcast and muggy day today. Started at 82 degrees. Forecast has us almost all the way to 88 if this cloud deck breaks. We have a chance to get 88, and when that happens, that's going to spark a bunch of storms by dinner time, 5, 6, 7 o'clock. We're supposed to have heavy rain come into the area, lightning, maybe some hail, and even tornadoes. So We've had that round with this moist air we've had in the last 10 days or so here in the East Texas area. We've had a number of tornado warning type evenings. First pitch misses, and it's 1-0. That misses as well. It's 2-0 now to the cleanup hitter, Nadav Macklin. Jackson Jordan on the mound for the Apaches. Big right-hander. Delivers, and that's in there for a strike. It's 2-1. Defensively for the Apaches, James Rasick in left, Ben Koch in center, and Garrett Hayes out in right field. Around the infield, it's Micah Roberts at third. That ball's hammered right at Davis Perkins. He'll miss it, and that'll be an error. We'll see how they score it, but that's and I didn't see what happened. Did it go all the way to the fence? Yes. All right, so Perkins kind of olayed that just a bit, and it's got to be an error, I believe. We'll see how they score it. As soon as it pops up on the live stats, we'll verify that. But All the way to second goes Macklin, so right back comes the Paris Dragons, and now it's the designated hitter, James Gonzalez. First pitch is going to miss. Diego Gonzalez, excuse me. I don't know why I have James in there. This is Diego Gonzalez. 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch. Boy, just off the plate, not by much. 2-0. Fuentes tried to frame that back in. Give Mr. Umpire a little better look at it, but boy, I wish we had the ABS out here. We got TrackMan out at UT Tyler, so I do get a visual every pitch. I don't know if that's good or bad, but fly ball left field. This is playable now. Rasick going back toward the warning track, and he'll gather that in. The runner's going to tag, go to third, and the throw will not be in time. So, boy, Gonzalez with some good speed there. Tags and goes to third on a ball to left. You don't see that very much. That ball was deep. Rasick was about a step off the warning track. We got a south wind, and that's actually coming in from center today. So the ball's going to get knocked down just a hair if it gets in the air. So you got 1 out and a runner at third base for Jordan Coronado, the first baseman, and he'll take a strike. It's 0-1. 6-0 Tyler. Top of the second inning, the Dragons went 1-2-3 in the first. And one of these days I'll get through the defensive alignment here. Fly ball out of play left side, 0-2. So it's Micah Roberts at third, Davis Perkins at short, Cal Fingelson at second, Landry Stamps at first, Chase Fuentes behind the plate and on the mound, 6'3", 200, a right-handed sophomore from Plano, Texas, Jackson Jordan. The 0-2. Boy, a little tardy on the swing, and it's an ugly finder over there in the dugout. And got guys jumping out of the way over there. These jerseys definitely have the old-school Oakland A's feel to them. Got the forest green ball caps with the gold bill. Another ball that's just kind of waved at and fouled over our heads as Coronado stays alive at the plate. We're at the 6th spot in the Paris lineup. Macklin reached on an error. Well, they actually scored a double. So, put a generous double there. The ball was smoked. There's no question it was hit hard, but evidently our dugout felt like it was a double, so that's what we'll go with. Here's the 0-2. Pop up left side. That's going to get out of play. And, boy, a pesky at bat here by Jordan Coronado. You know, you heard on the pregame from Coach Cox that Paris kind of prides himself as one of the teams that strikes out the least. And they battle with 2 strikes. You see this guy choked up. Swing and a miss, got him. And, boy, that ball was up in the zone. Good job by Jordan to get him to chase a little bit. That'll be strikeout number 2 for Jackson Jordan. It's out number 2 here in the second inning. And, boy, you'd like to keep that 0 on the board if you could. Here's the third baseman, Javier Rodriguez, stepping in for Paris with 2 outs. Rodriguez listed as a sophomore, 5'10", 170. He is also from Klein. Klein High School down in the kind of the Spring area, North Houston. Been down there a zillion times, not only recruiting but also visiting family. I got a sister who lives, her kids went to Klein Oak, and my brother's 2 boys and daughter went to Klein. And so I'm really familiar with that particular part of Houston. A lot of good baseball being played. In fact, one of our Circle of Honor players from the Apache baseball, Jeff Heffler, was the first Apache baseball player to go into the TJC Circle of Honor. And he went to Klein Oak, and it went on to Arkansas from here way back right about 2000. Off the plate, and it's 3-1 on the 7-hitter, Javier Rodriguez. If he would reach, it would be Johnny Gifford, the catcher, next. Full windup for Jackson Jordan, the 3-1. Hammered left field, that's down, and there goes the shutout. And Rodriguez will scoot into second base with an RBI double. So both teams really doing a nice job with 2 outs of putting some runs on the board. And so now it's 6-1, Tyler. Here's the 8-hitter, Johnny Gifford, the catcher. Johnny Gifford, a redshirt freshman, listed at 6'2", 230 from Amarillo, Texas, West Plains High School product. And he'll try to extend this inning against Jackson Jordan. First pitch. Catches the corner, 0-1. South wind at 10 is straight in our face. There's not much to speak about at all right now, so really the play here on the field isn't affected. Good breaking ball right there, and swinging through it is Gifford for strike 2. Well, I've seen this on video before, that there's something that somebody a couple of years ago, every player that gets to 2 strikes, he looks into the Dragon dugout and thumps his chest. Like, I think that means you battle right here, right? I am not going to strike out. Ball in the dirt, throw to third. And over to third goes Rodriguez. That'll be a wild pitch. As Fuentes, he knocked it down and kept it from going to the screen, but an alert Javier Rodriguez scooted over to third base with 2 outs now and a 1-2 count. Next pitch. Hammered up the middle, base hit, and Paris, again, like the Apaches, doing some damage with 2 outs. That's an RBI single for Johnny Gifford. And it's 6-2. How important was that wild pitch, right? It allowed the run to score easily. It may have scored either way, but here's the 9-hitter, Austin Marlin, first time through. And no. All right, I don't know if he's wearing the wrong jersey. Well, we're just kind of scrambling up here. It says Luke Kemp. I would call his name and see if anyone balks down there. Well, he's wearing 27, and 27 on the roster is Luke Kemp. But on the lineup card, it says Marlin. So fly ball to center, and Koch is over there, makes the catch. We're out number 3. That'll be F8 if you're scoring at the house. I'm going to ask, can you go down there and ask them real quick right now who that was that hit just then? That way we can make sure that maybe he's just wearing a different jersey. That's going to be my guess. That's probably what it was, yeah. If he talked to the umpire, he might have told the umpire, hey, I've got a different number on. So we're gonna run our scoreboard man, Bryce Mouse, down there and get verification on who that last hitter was, so we can be accurate on our broadcast and our PA man can know who to call out. So, anyways, I'm going to guess somebody left their jersey back at the house. That happened all the time with us. So it's 6-2 as we go to the bottom of the second inning. Paris will get 2 runs on 3 hits. They'll leave 1 guy on base. And we're headed to the bottom of the second inning. And we got a new score here at historic Mike Carter Field. It's Paris 6 and Tyler 2. All right, we're still trying to sort out who that last hitter was, and we were told it was in fact number 25 or 27, Luke Kemp. It was 27 that batted, right? Okay, so, and he's no longer, we got a new center fielder, and the new center fielder, well, he's in the lineup, Grant Moore, so he may have moved. Who's in right field now? We're playing musical chairs in the second inning here, and we're trying to figure it out. At the plate for the Apaches is the two-hitter, Davis Perkins. He walked and scored in the first inning. 1-1 pitch, high fly ball. That's going to get out of play. And I'll put my Walmart binoculars to work here in the right fielder's number 4. And that is Nadav Macklin, who started at second base. So who's playing second? I'm telling you, this is like a scavenger hunt. You got number 1. No. Number 7 is at second base. Okay, so that's correct. That ball's fouled straight back, 2-2. I don't know. We're trying to make some sense of the changes that have been made already in this game by the Dragons. 21 is out in that center field right now. And 21 started in right field. The next pitch is fouled off again. So he stays in the game in center. And who do we say was in right field? 4. Number 4 is in right field now. Telling you. Well, who's in left? Who's on first? No, what's on first? This is Abbott and Costello. All right, base hit for Perkins. He gets his first hit of the afternoon. Solid single into left field, and the Apaches looking for more here. And Landry Stamps will step in. So Perkins walked, and now he's singled. Now it's Landry Stamps. He also walked, and he'll get up for the second time in as many innings. The Apaches brought 10 batters to the plate. In inning number 1, they would plate 6 runs, and they still only got 4 hits, so a lot of walks in that first inning. Just off the plate, ball 1, not by much. Good pitch there by Riley Wood back on the mound. Thankfully, we haven't switched pitchers again. But we'll try to put the binoculars on. The left fielder is 27. The left fielder is 27. So let's see here. Okay, look out. That ball's right at the Apache dugout. And it's 2-1. So the 9 hole is now Luke Kemp. And so I don't know where's 20. We'll have to keep an eye on 121, who's in center now, where he hits. Look out. That's another laced foul ball by Landry Stamps. I'm trying to think where we've had movement here. So right went to center. Center went to left. And in second base, that's not right. No, left fielder went to right. That's what happened. So number 4 is the leadoff hitter. He's now in right field. So they just did a little musical chairs. So I think we got it figured out. So anyways, sorry about that. It's just a lot of changes early in this ball game for the Dragons. Strike 3 called outside corner. Stamps thought it was ball, and that's not what Mr. Umpire says. Riley Wood gets that call. That'll be strikeout number 2 for Woods, 3 on the day for Paris pitching. Runner at first, 1 out for Micah Roberts. Roberts hit a pop-up right in front of the Paris dugout his first time. He's 0 for 1. But, boy, what a year that Micah Roberts is having. 385, 16 doubles, 2 triples, 4 homers, 44 RBI. That's second on the club to Landry Stamps' 50. And Stamps has got 12 home runs. He had home run yesterday up at Weatherford. So got some Apaches that are going to be in line for all conference. There goes the runner. Throw to second. Should not be close. He's there. Stolen base for Davis Perkins. And you talk about, some guys that have done a really nice job. For Davis Perkins, that's stolen base number 26. He's got his own little competition with a teammate. Perkins has got 26 now, and now he's one ahead of David Lillis, who's got 25. And going to give him a moment to gather himself at second. And so he's in scoring position now. The pitch was called a strike. It's 0-1 on Micah Roberts. Apaches as a club, 303 average, and that's good for first in the conference. Actually 296 in conference play, and that leads the conference in team batting average. They're second in home runs with 36 as a club in conference play, and they're third in doubles at 42. Now, Paris is actually ahead of the Apaches in doubles. They got 45 doubles, just 3 ahead of the Apaches. The Apaches are first in stolen bases with 79 in conference play. The 1-1 coming in. Here it is off the plate, 2-1. Paris loves to run traditionally, and they are last, dead last in stolen bases this year in the conference, 7th with 22, and that's less than 1 a game, which I'm going to tell you the last few years, Clay Cox loves to run. And we talked about it on the pregame. He just doesn't have the same kind of players this year that give the Dragon offense the ability to be aggressive on the bases as they have in previous years. So he's had to adapt, and to his credit, he's gotten this team into the playoffs. Both these teams are going into the playoffs on nice runs. They've won a lot of baseball in the last couple of weeks. And there's ball 4. So Roberts draws the walk, and that'll be the first walk issued by relief pitcher Riley Wood. Let's see here, 1, 2, 3. So that's walk number 4 for Dragon pitching. 2 on and 1 out for the right fielder, Garrett Hayes. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike. Garrett Hayes, 338 on the year for the Apaches. 5 doubles, 6 homers, 22 driven in. The Apaches are coming off a loss yesterday at Weatherford. Dragons have won 9 in a row. So that they have had 2 conference sweeps in the last 2 weeks, and they had, prior to those 2 3-game series, they had 3 non-conference that they won. So they have won 9 in a row coming into today's ball game. So they're hot. And the Apaches have a 4-run lead here in the second inning. We're at the 5 spot, Garrett Hayes. 1-1 pitch, foul tip. It glanced off Johnny Gifford's glove behind the plate. And I don't know if Mr. Umpire took one off the mask there. Clay's coming out of the dugout making sure he's okay. Clay Cox might be the most analytic coach in the conference. When I'm interviewing him, he's throwing out numbers. There go the runners for the Apaches. Popped up, and that's going to get out of play. Back over our heads. And it's a 1-2 count. He is just all over. And to his credit, one of the other things that I noticed is I think he's the only conference coach that he had a radar gun down there, and he had a video camera down there. I think he videos every game from behind home plate. I'm sure that he's a student of his guys in the game for sure. The 1-2. Hammered right field, high, deep, got a chance. Out of here, way out of here. That ball went just to the right of the flagpole, and Garrett Hayes, for the second day in a row, will take one out of the yard. Home run number 7 of the year. And a 3-run shot is going to make it 9-2. Boy, that ball was absolutely tattooed. And we got a flagpole that is probably, 40 feet high, 10, maybe 35, 40 feet high. It went right beside that flagpole and deep into those trees. So that's out of just about every yard you're going to play at the junior college level. As we're 327 down the lines here, and 350 in the gaps, 370 straight away, or 360 in the gaps, 370 straight away here at Mike Carter. But we got that wall that increasingly gets taller towards the center of the ballpark. So that's the other thing that's kind of nice at UT Tyler. With TrackMan, you know exactly how far the ball went and what the exit velocity was. It's a fun tool that I think maybe next year we might have out here, which would be nice. The 2-0 pitch, boy, Cal didn't get cheated. He's trying to get his own home run right here. It's 9-2 Apaches. As the 3-run home run off the bat of Garrett Hayes extends the Apache lead now to 7. Here's the 2-1 to Cal off the end of the bat. Well, yeah, Cal's countryman, Travis Bazzano, first-round pick for the Cleveland Guardians 2 years ago, I think, is going to go to the big leagues. I think maybe their next home game is tomorrow, so kind of cool. Don't have a lot of Australian kids in the big leagues, but Bazzano's one of them. Cal, good piece of hit, and he's going to think about going to second, but hold up there. It's a solid single for the Apache second baseman, Cal Fingelson. He's 1 for 1 now. He got hit by a pitch with the bases loaded his first time up and got an RBI. And here comes Coach Boone Prevette again on a visit. So let's walk you through what's going on in the south part of this Region 14. And today there's very few games going on. Paris is here at Mike Carter. Panola is at Angelina. And that's a 2 o'clock start, so they aren't underway yet. Wharton is at Blinn today. 6 p.m. start down at Brenham. And those are the only games in Region 14 today. You got Galveston and Alvin tomorrow, Northeast Texas at Navarro tomorrow, and San Jac is at Coastal Bend. But we want to look at the standings for the South. Blinn is clinched number 1. They are 25-7. So they've clinched the number 1 spot. Wharton is in second at 20-12. San Jac 18-13 in third, and Alvin right now 14-18 in fourth place. So if the season ended today, it would be those 4. However, Coastal just 1 behind Alvin at 12-19. Galveston's out of the picture. They are 6-26. So they have 1 more week of conference play as well down in the South, and Blinn has clinched a host. So the South Regional will be held in Brenham at Blinn College. And number 2 and number 4 in the Region 14 North will travel down there. Now, how this week plays out will decide who is second, third, and fourth. Similar to the way ours will play out, except ours is still wide open. Only 2 games separate the top 4 teams. First pitch to Ben Koch was a strike. It's 0-1. Next pitch is off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ben Koch drew a bases-loaded walk as well. He got an RBI his first time up, but officially 0 for 0 in this ball game. Riley Wood now 42 pitches. As we play on in the second inning, the Apaches, another big hit by Garrett Hayes. That ball's popped up to shallow center, and coming in to make the play is Austin Marlin for out number 2. So Koch flies out to center. Now it's Noah Felton. Felton, a big 2-out, 2 RBI single in that first inning. Well, the Apaches were able to maximize with 2 outs as starting pitcher Ryder Calloway got himself in a jam and almost got out of it. But the Apaches would bring 10 batters to the plate, and with 2 outs, hit batter, walk, 2-run single by Felton, and a 2-run double by Chase Fuentes. And they would start this ball game ahead 6-0. They would give up 2 in the second. They have come back for 3 here in their half of the second on the bat of Garrett Hayes. I think we said it was his 6th homer of the year. Yeah, actually his 7th homer of the year. and RBI number 25 of the year. He's on 25 now. That ball's lofted into right field and going to drop in front of Moore. He'll throw to third base, and a hustling Cal Fingelson gets to third base on the bloop single by Noah Felton. Felton now 2 for 2. And that was a bloop, but in the scorebook, line drive. That's what I used to say. It's a line drive in the scorebook. Here's the 9-hitter, Chase Fuentes. You know, the way baseball works is you hit those flares, and then you hit a rocket right at the guy, right? It tends to even itself out, and obviously the goal as a hitting coach is to just barrel as many balls up as you can, line drives and hard ground balls, and the numbers will generally take care of themselves. First pitch is in there for a strike. Fuentes, the 2-run double in the first inning, so he's 1 for 1. 9-2 Apaches. We're only in the second inning. Pace of play is slow. Line drive, left field, base hit. Fuentes with another RBI hit, and he's 2 for 2 now. And boy, you're getting a lot of production out of the bottom part of this lineup. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the RBIs have come from 6 through 9. And it's 10-2. Back to the top of the lineup you go, and James Rasek for the third time in 2 innings. A 4-run second, and they're looking for more. Rasek, a single in the first inning, broke up the no-hitter, and then he struck out last time up. So he's 1 for 2 today. Well, the Apaches, on the heels of scoring 16 yesterday, have put 10 up in the first 2 innings. Here's the 1-0. Oh, a pretty good spot. Called the ball. Well, these two clubs will match up at Paris on Friday. So keep an eye on the schedule. We do have some weather that's going to move through East Texas. Another bloop to right field. This is trouble. It's going to fall in. Another run's coming home. And the Apaches doing some damage with 2 outs. Rasek gets his second hit of the afternoon. And another hit, another line drive in the scorebook as Felton races home with run number 11. Fuentes made it all the way to third base, as with 2 outs, you're going to have moving on contact by the base runners. And now it's Davis Perkins for the third time in 2 innings. Davis Perkins walked his first time up, and a base hit to left his last time up. So he's officially 1 for 1. He scored twice. There goes the runner. You're going to throw it down. You're going to steal, and they got him. Boy, good throw by Johnny Gifford right on the bag. Good tag there by Macklin. And Rasek is caught stealing 2 to 4. They were pulling off the double steal, and Fuentes was going to try to come home. He would have scored easily if Rasek was called safe, but that was not to be. Rasek thrown out by a great throw by Johnny Gifford. But the Apaches, another 5 runs, and they now lead it by a score of 11-2. We're headed to the third inning. So you're watching Tyler Baseball on the Apache Sports Network. First pitch swinging, and boy, that's extra bases for the leadoff hitter, Zach Henderson. And boy, he liked that first pitch. He took a good swing and drilled it into the corner for a leadoff double. Well, right fielder Garrett Hayes got over there quickly and got it in, but no shot to get the runner. So runner at second, no one out for Grant Moore. Henderson had struck out looking his first time up, so he is now 1 for 2, and now it's Grant Moore for the second time. Grant Moore, 287 on the year for the Dragons, 4 doubles, a triple, 2 homers, 31 driven in, grounded to second base. Fingelson gobbles it up, throws, and almost pulled Stamps off the bag. Landry holds on to the ball in the bag for out number 1. Over to third goes Henderson. Now it's Bankston Lemke. Boy, what a year he's having. The sophomore shortstop, 335 on the year, 18 doubles, 3 triples, 4 homers, 36 driven in. He's got 25 extra base hits this year. He's got to be a candidate for all conference, I got to believe. As he takes ball 1. He flew out to left field his first time up, so he's still looking for his first hit. Jackson Jordan falls behind now, 2-0. Well, you kind of want to just force the issue here, right? You're up 9. Let's make these guys swing the bats. The 2-0. He didn't get cheated there, fouled it off to the right side. And that's probably going to head into that Fireman's Training Center we got just outside the parking lot here. Mike Carter built in 1938, part of a WPA project. Got plaques on the ballpark at different areas and has been renovated a couple of different times. The last time in the late 90s, or that's not the latest, but because they put the turf down and changed the lights out here recently. Popped up out of play right side, 3-2 now. On the 3-hitter, Bankston Lemke. So it was renovated in the late 80s, early 90s. Totally resurfaced the playing surface. AA lights were put in. And eventually would renovate the locker rooms and the seating here at Mike Carter. Before that, it was kind of broken down boards and overgrown grass. Line drive into left by Lemke. And he shows you right there why he's going to be a candidate for all conference. He'll get an RBI and a base hit to left. So Dragons are not going to go away. As they're presently in 4th, and I'm not sure they can get the first because somebody's got to win the games. That's the problem. If you had teams at the top and the teams that were out of the conference race in playing each other this week, that would be different. But right now, what you got is you got Northeast playing Navarro. Somebody's got to win those games. And so both those teams can't just lose out this week. And you got Tyler playing Paris, 2 versus 4. And so, Paris can sweep the Apaches. And if they do, they would be 18-12 in their 30 conference games. But I'm not sure. Somebody's got to win those games between Northeast and Navarro, and so I don't know that mathematically that Paris can actually get into first after this week's play. The 0-2. Up the middle. It went off the back of Jordan over to first. Everyone's safe. So that's going to be a 1-B-1 by Macklin. He's now 2 for 2. As it looked, they're going to make sure Jackson Jordan's okay. That ball went right off his back. He had kind of crouched after releasing the baseball, and he's kind of shrugging his shoulders at Coach Doe coming out, and the trainers are coming out as well, just to make sure. He'll probably throw a toss or two. I know that I don't know that he had any shot at making a play there. He was just trying to get out of the way, and I think he's going to be all right. Probably frustrated more than anything. He gave up the hit. Got a nice crowd that has actually showed up here today on a Tuesday afternoon. Did not know how many would be here today, but got a number of folks on both sides of the ballpark here. So Now stepping in is Diego Gonzalez. He flew out to left his first time up, so he's 0 for 1. That's going to miss off the plate. Diego Gonzalez, 362, 13 doubles, 6 homers, 49 RBI. He leads the club in runs driven in. Big left-handed batter. And if you watch him, he's got the high hands on the setup. And he'll drop them down behind the shoulder eventually when he goes to work as a hitter. 2-0 the count, the pitch. What that makes for is a pretty long swing, right? He's strong enough to get the barrel through at this level. At some point, I always tried to get guys like this to kind of move their hands down a little bit. And he might use those hands down as a little bit of a trigger, which a lot of guys do. But he likes to wag the bat a little bit, and those hands will eventually come down in front of his armpit when he swings. But got a bit of an uppercut as those last 2 balls. Tell you what, I should have been checking the Avalon. Those are close to the old Avalon there. Those lefties are notorious for putting balls over that way. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We're at the 5 position in the Paris lineup with 1 out. A lazy fly ball to right center. This is Garrett Hayes now getting under it. He'll catch it. The runners are going to go. Here's the throw. And, boy, really close. Safe. Really close play. Hayes threw that ball right on the bag, and Roberts put the tag on. So it'll go F9, and just barely beating the tag there was Bankston Lemke. And so you got runners on the corners now with 2 outs. Jordan Coronado stepping in. Coronado, the first baseman, 308 on the year for the Dragons. He's got 17 extra base hits, 10 doubles, 4 triples, and 3 home runs, 39 RBIs for the Dragon first baseman. I will tell you this, the Dragons 18 triples, and that Paris ballpark is a triples ballpark. It is wide open in that outfield. There's a lot of room out there for extra bases, and they traditionally will lead the conference in triples every year. And there's probably more foul territory at that ballpark than maybe any ballpark I've ever been at. Just massive amounts of foul territory. Fly ball, left center. This ball's carrying toward the wall. And Koch goes over and makes the catch. Nicely done by Ben Koch. He had a long run. Kind of circled the wagons a little bit. Didn't take that direct route, but he makes the catch. And that'll end the inning. But the Dragons get 1 more run. And we got a new score as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. It's now Tyler 11 and Paris 3. Back in just a minute. Welcome back to Tyler, Texas. We're at historic Mike Carter Field. Dr. John Groth with you. Bottom of the third inning, Davis Perkins will lead it off for Tyler. 2, 3, and 4 in their lineup. New pitcher for the Dragons. Right-handed sophomore from Argyle, Texas. Brock McCowan, 6 foot 195. And he delivers ball 1. Give you some numbers on Mr. McCowan here. 0-1 with a 10.19 ERA. Fly ball well hit the center. And, boy, good read right there. And good footwork by Austin Marlin to flag that down. F8 if you're scoring at the house. There's 1 out. Perkins now 1 for 2 today. Here's the 3-hitter, Landry Stamps. Landry Stamps has walked and struck out looking. 0 for 1. Brock McCowan, his 13th appearance of the year, all 13 out of the bullpen, 17 2/3 innings, 11 strikeouts, and 14 walks. A right-handed sophomore from Argyle, Texas, Denton Geyer High School product. Brock McCowan. Stamps takes a healthy cut at the first pitch he sees and fouls it toward the Avalon, but it'll get past there. Dragons had their own bus today. I don't know if you noticed that. They got the big, it's kind of a glorified school bus, but it's a big white bus. It probably is way nicer than a regular Yellow Goose bus, but kind of nice to be able to have your own bus. You don't have to call a bus company and do the rental thing. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Landry Stamps. 1 out in the inning. The pitch. Pretty well hit center field, and it's going to fall in front of Marlin. I thought he was going to kind of make a bid at that thing, but that'll be hit number 1 for Landry Stamps here this afternoon. And he's at first with 1 out. Here's Micah Roberts, 3rd time through. Popped up to third, walked, and scored in the 2nd inning. Roberts 0 for 1 today. Well, the Apaches have to sweep to host and take first place, and they need for Navarro to get 2 out of 3 against Northeast Texas. I think that's the scenario that would allow the Apaches to host next week's regional tournament. Anything other than that is going to mean that the Apaches will have to travel. Either if they finish 3rd, they will travel to whoever wins the Region 14 North. If they finish 2nd or 4th, which I don't think they're going to finish 4th. There goes the runner. Stamps on the move. Throw to 2nd and safe. So Landry Stamps will get his stolen base. And let's see how many that is for him. It's going to be number 9 on the year. So he's at 2nd now with 1 out. And Apaches continue to rack up their league-leading stolen base total. That's number 80 now. Actually, it's probably going to be more than that, 81. They've got 2 in this game. They lead the league coming into this weekend, or this week. Pitches in there, 2 and 1. We noted earlier, and I actually talked to Clay Cox, the coach, on the pregame show about the style of play. The Dragons love to run, and they just don't have the club this year to rack up the stolen bases like they normally do. So they're actually dead last in the conference. They have only stolen 22 bases in 27 conference games. That ball's in the dirt. Good read by Stamps, and he'll get to 3rd. That's going to be a wild pitch. So Landry heads up out there as Gifford tried to get over there and pick it up, but could not do it in time. So now you got a runner at 3rd base with only 1 out. So lots of ways to score from 3rd with only 1 out. Micah Roberts, for his first hit of the afternoon, is going to get something to hit here, 3-1. That ball's hammered. That should get a run in. Right at Marlin in center field. He'll gather it in, but it'll be well deep enough for the Apaches to get run number 12. So a sac fly and an RBI for Micah Roberts. And, boy, that wild pitch really hurts you there. And it's 12-3 now. Here's Garrett Hayes with 2 outs and 3-run home run to right field. Well into the trees just beside that flagpole his last time up. Struck out swinging his first time up. The homer was number 7 of the year for Garrett. And it seems like he's really heated up here in the last couple of weeks. Boy, how important is having a nice, hot, left-handed bat in your lineup, especially down in the middle of the lineup. You know, you kind of hope that, Landry Stamps has been a staple all year as a left-handed batter for the Apaches, but to have another lefty down in your lineup that can do that kind of stuff, really helpful. And if they do end up going to Blinn, I'm going to tell you that place can be a bandbox. So got guys that can get the ball out of the yard. That's a good ballpark to do it. 2-0 the count, the pitch. Ball's hammered foul. And who's coaching first right now? Coach who? Oh, Coach Keys just lifted his foot up. He's got the, I don't know what color pullover he's got on there, but might be contraband in my book. Okay. I don't know. I like my base coaches to kind of stay. We might have had a dress code when I was coaching. There were certain things I wanted worn and other things not so much. So it's very comfortable, though. A little short sleeve, lightweight pullover with the hood on it. And, boy, in a place like Tyler, you got to have something that's lightweight at times. And a day like today, it's certainly nice to have that. Well, there's the walk to Garrett Hayes. And trying to see here. Second walk issued by, actually first walk issued by McCowan. And fifth walk issued by Paris Dragon pitching. Runner at first with 2 outs. And now it's Cal Fingelson. Off the plate, ball 1. Cal, 384 on the year. 4 doubles, a triple, no homers, 20 RBI. And Garrett Hayes, 11 for 14 in steals. He's going to go. There he goes. And he'll get stolen base number 12. You knew he was going to go at some point in that at bat, and he got a nice look at the pitcher, Brock McCowan, and got a good jump, and he's in scoring position now with 2 outs. Stolen base number 82 of the year for the Apaches. That leads the conference. And that's not overall. That's just conference games. They have even more overall. I don't know if I'm seeing this right. 164 in overall. And there's a walk issued to Cal Fingelson. Second walk in a row. 2 on, 2 out for Ben Koch. So Koch, last time up, flew out to center field. He walked with the bases loaded in the first inning, so officially 0 for 1 for Ben. 12-3 our score. We're in the bottom of the 3rd inning. The Apaches nearly all the way through their lineup 3 times in 3 innings. First pitch misses, ball 1. Yeah, we continue to have a nice gathering of people here. We got, looks like we got some royalty down there. Is that Coach Henderson, the softball coach down there? Not sure who he's sitting next to, but look out off the arm of Hayes. He'll scoot over and get to third. So that's going to be an E1 as Garrett Hayes, that ball went off his arm. No Evo shield on the bases there. And he alertly, it scooted just a few feet away, but the angle at which it hit him, there was no shot for Lemke to get over there in time to throw him out at third base. So now you got runners on the corners with 2 outs again for the Apaches, and Koch up there with a 1-0 count. See if they try the double steal again. And boy, that was a balk move. Sure looked like it. McCowan, you can't move that front foot first. That was really close. If you move that front foot first, that's the right-handed balk move. See if he does it again here. That front foot, it's got to be the back foot that moves first. And runner thought about going, and it's going to be a ball. And you could tell right now Cal Fingelson's causing some trouble in the head of Brock McCowan. He kind of quick pitched that ball, and Gifford jumped out of his stance to try to throw out Cal, and he didn't go. Next pitch. Check swing to short. This is a tough play in the hole. Throw to Cross, not going to get him. It's a run for the Apaches. Infield single for Ben Koch. Boy, when it's going good, it's going good. He check swung that swing, and Lemke was playing towards second, so he was way out of position. He got way over into the 6-hole, and by the time he got the ball over to first base, no shot to get Ben Koch. Another run for the Apaches, now a 10-run lead, 13-3. And now it's Noah Felton. The Apaches are on the verge of batting through the lineup 3 times in 3 innings. Noah Felton is 2 for 2. Oh my goodness, it hit him in the head. Off the helmet, I think he's fine, a glancing blow. And Mr. Umpire is trying to make sure that nothing crazy starts there. He gets between Noah and McCowan. No intent there. So a hit batter will load the bases with 2 outs. And it looks like Noah's going to be fine there. I don't know if the trainers are going to run out there and make sure he's all right, but I guess they're not. 9-hitter, Chase Fuentes. And here comes Boone Prevet. I don't know if you're going to have another pitching change here or just going to give McCowan a chance to breathe here. McCowan looking in. He does not want to come out of this game, I tell you that. And I don't think he is, but they're having a chat right now. What's that? All the what? All right, we got some royalty in the ballpark. Okay. Looks like, yep, Andrew Canty and Jim Ritchie. And we are going to have a pitching change, so keep your pens handy. Apaches will face a new arm, and the 4th pitcher of the day for Paris, and we're only in the 3rd inning. We'll let you know who that is when we return. All right, Chase Fuentes will step in for the Apaches, a new pitcher for the Dragons. Caden White, 5'10", 160, right-handed red shirt, or I'm sorry, Yeah, Richard Freshman. First pitch is low, ball one. From Jeffersonville, Indiana, Caden White. And we'll pull up some numbers on Caden White here for you. 0-0 with an 8.10 ERA, 15th appearance of the year. Next pitch off the plate, 2-0. Caden White has thrown 16 and 2/3 innings. He has struck out 19 and walked 16. So I would argue, if you look at the numbers as a staff, the Paris Dragons, they have some elevated walk numbers. That in a game like this, obviously that's going to hurt you. Well, I say that, but 336 innings pitched, they've walked 181, but they've only struck out 244. So don't have a strikeout-heavy staff. 3 balls and 1 strike to the 9-hitter Chase Fuentes. He's 2 for 2 with 3 RBIs, a 2-run double in the first, which was a huge hit, and an RBI single his last time up. Here comes the 3-1. Line drive into right field. That's down. 2 runs are going to score. Ball gets by the right fielder Moore, and the third runner is going to be sent home. The throw comes in, and it'll be a 3-run double for Chase Fuentes. Only 2 RBIs because the right fielder misplayed that ball, so he'll get credit for 2 RBIs as Coach Ritchie over there alertly sent the runner. Felton came all the way around to score, and the Apaches 16 now to 3 lead. And for the 4th time in 3 innings, James Rasek, the leadoff hitter, will come to the plate. 2 singles and a strikeout for Rasek. He scored a run. He's also driven 1 in. Caden White, the set and the pitch. Going to miss ball 1. 16 runs. This is where the Apaches finished yesterday, and they lost. 21-16 game yesterday at Weatherford. Apaches would come up on the short end of that one. I guess the Apaches went for it twice. The two-point conversion. That ball's high and deep to left field, but it's going to stay in the yard. And that'll end it. Rasek, a high fly ball that if he straightens that out just a little bit is out of here. But left fielder Zach Henderson catches it on the warning track. So it goes as an F7. But the Apaches, 5 more runs, and they now lead it 16-3. Back in just a minute. Javier Rodriguez, the batter, he fouled the first pitch off. It's 0-1. Next pitch is going to miss. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. We're in the top of the 4th inning, 16-3 Apaches. 6 runs in the first inning, 5 in the second, 5 more in the third. Paris would score 2 runs in their half of the second inning, and then a single run in the third. So Apaches, again, for the second game in a row, will score at least 16 runs in a ball game. Fly ball left field playable. Racek going back toward the warning track, 2 feet on the track, makes the catch, 1 out. So Rodriguez, who doubled in a run his first time up, is a fly out to left victim here to lead off the 4th inning. He's 1 for 2 now. Here's Johnny Gifford, the catcher. Base hit to center field, drove in a run himself. He's 1 for 1. Gifford on the year, 294 for the Dragons, 8 doubles, a homer, 14 driven in. First pitch in there for a strike. Javier Rodriguez, who just flew out, 264 on the year for Paris, 5 doubles, a triple, a homer, 25 driven in for the Dragon third baseman, and that's another foul ball off the foot of the catcher Gifford. And, boy, he's kind of gingerly stepping on that left foot. He's got the Evo shield on the right foot, and he's going to try to walk it off here. Yeah, he's going to stay in there. He's just, umpire's giving him a minute to maybe get the feeling back into that foot. Well, does he have an Evo shield on? It's just he's got a weird looking shoe, so maybe he's got 0 Evo shields on either foot. His shoes kind of look like the old saddle Oxfords. Remember those? When's the last time you saw a pair of those anywhere? I'm a child of the 60s, right? I was born in 1962, so 60s and 70s, they probably go back before then. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the 8-hitter, Johnny Gifford. Jackson Jordan, the wind and the pitch just off the plate. 2-2. 1 out, nobody aboard. Jordan now 60 pitches into his outing. The top of the 4th inning. He's given up 3 runs on 6 hits today. The pitch. Way inside. Gifford does the hula. I don't know how he got out of the way of that. Those catchers can move their hips, man. They got to block those balls all the time. Full count now. Here's the pitch. Boy, off the hands, and he's not even running. He can't run. Easy play over there for Micah Roberts, and there's 2 outs. Well, I don't know what it did, but, yeah, it kind of looked like it might have gone off his foot, but he already had fouled a ball off his foot. He is not moving well at all, and I think he's probably going to come out of this game. You got playoffs coming up. There's probably no reason to keep him in there. And Coach Cox is telling him, hey, we're going to put someone else in. So be on the lookout for who goes behind the plate when they go out in the field, because it's probably not going to be Johnny Gifford. Here's the 9-hitter, Luke Kemp. And Kemp is 0 for 1. He flew out to center his first time up. He batted for Austin Marlin. So I think technically Marlin cannot play in this game. Well, and I don't know, but if his name's on the lineup card and they hit for him, he might have been in the field that first inning. First time I don't know, but when he came to the plate, or when his spot came to the plate, he was not coming to the home plate. There's a walk issued now to Kemp. And let's see. This is the first walk issued by Jackson Jordan, so that's a good thing. Top of the lineup now, Zach Henderson, who's now playing right field, will step in. He's 1 for 2, double to right his last time up, and would eventually score. And that ball's going to miss low for ball 1. Henderson, 320 on the year for the Dragons. 7 doubles, 2 triples, 2 homers, 24 driven in. Next pitch, gonna miss. Ball's and no strikes. Luke Kemp on the year, 2 for 2 in stolen bases. Not sure you're going to be looking to send him anytime soon. And boy, Jordan now quickly behind 3-0. Just walked his first batter of the game. In Luke Kemp was at first base. We're in the 4th inning, and he had not walked a batter until then. Here's the 3-0 pitch. And there's ball 4. So back-to-back walks. You might see a visit from Coach Egger here, just to settle things down a little bit. And they're right on cue. There he goes. Coach Egger going to go out and just maybe give his starter a breather. 70 pitches now for the right-handed sophomore from Plano, Texas. By the way, Jackson Jordan is a Blinn transfer, so if the Apaches end up going to Blinn, he'll be very familiar with the field down there. 2 years ago, yeah. Leroy Dreyer Field is the name of that field, and it's a really nice setup. Just the fences, in my opinion, are probably a little shorter than I would like to see. And when the wind's blowing out, I don't want to pitch there. They got a nice little stadium, kind of elevated off the field, and locker rooms are right there. I think they've renovated in recent years, so I don't think they've gone to full turf yet, though. I don't know that they have. Last time I checked, I thought that maybe the mound and home plate were turfed, or maybe the apron. First pitch in there for a strike. This is Grant Moore, the right. He's now the center fielder. He started in right. He's 0 for 2. Fly ball to left field and a grounder to second base for the sophomore center fielder. 0-1 pitch. Liner to right field. That'll get through. Runner's going to be sent home. Here comes the throw, and going to be close, but not close enough. Throw to second, and everybody's safe. So RBI single for Grant Moore is his first hit of the day. That'll get the Paris fans excited. And here comes Bankston Lemke now. He had an RBI single his last time up, and he's a dangerous hitter. Got 2 on in scoring position. 16-4 now. It's a 12-run lead for the Apaches. And you still got an awful lot of baseball in front of you, and you're coming off a day when it was 21-16. So better just keep your pens handy here. First pitch to Lemke, going to miss inside for ball 1. We noted earlier Lemke's having a monster year, 335 and 25 extra base hits, 18 doubles, 3 triples, 4 homers, 36 RBI. Off the plate, 2-0. You got a base open here, so not sure it would be a horrible thing. You got Nadav Macklin on deck. That's in there for a strike. Macklin, 309. 6 doubles, 4 homers, 29 driven in. So he is a right-handed batter. The 2-1. Hammered foul. And, boy, you can just see Lemke's not afraid. He takes aggressive swing up there. You can see why he's been very productive this year for the Dragons. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Boy, you don't need to throw him a strike the rest of the at-bat. Just make him go after something out of the zone. 2-2 pitch. Ground ball to short. This should do it. Perkins up with it. Throws across. There's your inning. Nice job by Davis Perkins. But the Dragons do get another run. And we got a new score as we go to the bottom of inning number 4. It's now Tyler 16 and Paris 4. Back in just a minute. You're watching Tyler Baseball on the Apache Sports Network. Yes. 1 ball, no strikes, high pop-up. This is Davis Perkins, pops it up, and this will be, who's going to get it? Third baseman. Javier Rodriguez squeezes it for out number 1. We're in the 4th inning. Perkins now 1 for 3. That'll be P5 if you're scoring at the house. Here's Landry Stamps. Landry base hit to center his last time up. He would come around to score. He scored 2 runs in this ball game. Walked and scored in the first, struck out looking in the second, and in the 3rd inning would a base hit up the middle. And Caden White back on the mound. That ball's fouled off to the left side toward the Rose Garden. Tyler Rose Garden off to our left. The convention center's behind us. Football stadium off to our right. And, of course, Mike Carter Field, part of the Road City Complex right here at Houston Street. And Front Street. I don't know. We have an address. It's kind of a weird address. It's Fair Park Drive. High pop-up left field. Henderson, plenty of room out there in left field, makes the catch. 2 outs. So that'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Micah Roberts. Sac fly to center his last time up. Micah officially 0 for 1 today. He scored a run and he's driven 1 in. Sun trying to come out. If it does, it's going to get really warm out here. Started the ball game 82 degrees, and when the temperature was 82, it felt like 87. First pitch going to miss for ball 1. If you get a chance, shoot me an email. Love to hear from where you're watching from and who you're rooting for. 1-0 pitch. Hammered left field. If it stays fair, it's got a chance. And curves foul. That ball got out of here. It went over the fence, but it was probably about 20 feet foul. Bounced right into the batting cage area down in the left field corner of this ballpark. So it's 1 ball and 1 strike to Micah Roberts, sophomore third baseman. And Coach Doe talked about some of the hitters who really have gotten hot here late, and this is one of them. Micah Roberts really, second half of the year, has really ramped up his offensive production. And you'll need that going into the playoffs for sure. The 1-1. A pretty good pitch right there. And called a ball. Dragon fans wanted it called. The 2-1 pitch coming up. Here it is. Fouled off to the right side. More royalty. Preston Caldwell has at the ballpark. Our associate athletic director. Always good to see Preston out here. And we do have some deans. And our dean of students. And trying to see who else is down there. You know, that you can't recognize these deans when they're in civilian clothes. Line drive up the middle, base hit. So Roberts will get his first base hit of the afternoon. And with 2 outs, the Apaches have a runner at first for Garrett Hayes. Garrett Hayes walked his last time up. 3-run home run, a big hit in that second inning. And he would strike out swinging his first time up. A 1 for 2 with 3 driven in and a run scored. Well, actually, he scored twice today. First pitch to Hayes, big hack right there, cannot connect. It's 0-1. Batting 5th today for the Apaches. Well, instead of playing Wednesday, Saturday this week, the Apaches and the Dragons mutually agreed to play Tuesday, Friday. And I think the hope was that ball's popped up left side out of play. And I don't know. I think the Avalon's safe there. That's headed toward the maintenance building. By the way, we had a ball. You could still see it. Somebody. who did we play Saturday? Was it Northeast? One of their dudes hit a ball on top of that building. It's still there. Can you see it? It's still out there. It's unbelievable how far that went. He hit it's the furthest foul ball I've seen hit this ballpark. It's still sitting on the roof of the Rose Garden maintenance building over there. It was a right-handed pull. Absolute rocket. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Hammered foul, look out. And we'll do it again. Good swing right there by the redshirt freshman right fielder Garrett Hayes. Caden White on the mound for the Dragons. They have used 4 pitchers. It's been Jackson Jordan from the start for the Apaches. 4-1 on the year with a 3.43 ERA. His 7th appearance and his 3rd start of the season for Tyler. The 1-2. Boy, he got fisted there, but fouled it off to the right side, and that's going to get out of play. There was a playoff game here last night. Yeah. It had Whitehouse and Lufkin. I don't know. I haven't heard, but it was a play-in game. So I think the winner stays alive, the loser's out. So it's high school playoff time here. The local team that plays at Mike Carter, Tyler Legacy. That one's popped up, and this should do it. Easy fly for Marlin in center field, and he'll put the glove on it for the final out. So the Apaches, finally a 0 on the board. And we're headed to the 5th inning. Score remains Tyler Junior College 16, Paris Junior College 4. Back in a minute. All right, new pitcher for the Apaches. They dip into their bullpen. Austin Shirley will take over for Jackson Jordan. He ends up throwing 77 pitches in 4 innings of work. 5'11", 180, a right-handed sophomore out of Cypress, Texas. Austin Shirley takes over, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. We're at the cleanup spot for the Dragons. Nadav Macklin, a double and a single. He's 2 for 2 in their first strike. Some numbers on Mr. Shirley here. 3-2 with an 8.49 ERA. That ball's fouled off into the dugout area for the Apaches. For Shirley, this is appearance number 15 of the year. He's got 6 starts, 35 innings pitched. He has struck out 12 and walked 24. New pitcher is Austin Shirley, sophomore out of Cypress, Texas. And that's off the plate, 3-2. Shirley is a transfer from Cisco College and Cy Ranch High School product. We're in the 5th inning, and pretty good pitch there. And I'm not a fan of the batters taking off to first base, but Macklin gets the call. Leadoff walk here in the 5th. First walk for Shirley. And Jordan only walked 2, so that's the 3rd walk of the game for Tyler pitching. And stepping in now is Diego Gonzalez. A couple of fly balls, one to left and one to right for Gonzalez. Takes strike 1. Gonzalez batting 5th is the designated hitter for Paris today. Shirley the set, the 0-1. Chopper right back to the mound. You got a chance to get 2. There's 1, and there's 2. Nicely done by Austin Shirley. Off the bat, I thought, well, that's going to chop too high. No shot, but I'll tell you what, Gonzalez does not run that fast. And that'll go 1 to 6 to 3. And it's a little PFP right there. Nicely turned by the shortstop, Davis Perkins. 2 outs, nobody on, and it's Jordan Coronado now for the 3rd time. Struck out swinging and flew out to center. First pitch is off the plate, ball 1. Tyler with a 12-run lead, 16-4 as we play in the top of the 5th. And the truth is, I just realized we're 1 out from the game being over. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm thinking we're playing 9 and we're only halfway through. But with a 12-run lead, you're 1 out away. Line drive up the middle, and that's going to fall in front of Koch for a single. So Coronado gets his first hit of the afternoon. Here's Javier Rodriguez, RBI double back in the 2nd for Rodriguez. He's 1 for 2. And yeah, if you're the Tyler Apaches, you would love to shorten this game and save the pitching for Friday. And so you're looking for that last out, and you can still give up 2 runs here. I don't think you want to do that, but looks like we got a new first baseman, Reed Garrett. There's a base hit to right. So here come the Dragons with 2 outs. They're down to their last out. It looks like you got a new first baseman. Reed Garrett is at first base. And I don't know if we got other switches out there, but I noticed that's a change. Is that Stamps at 3rd, or is that still Micah? That's Micah Roberts. Okay, so for the Dragons, here's the new catcher. Gifford went out after he hit a ball off his foot, and so it's the new catcher, Michael Clarkson. Next pitch is going to miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. This will be Clarkson's first plate appearance of the afternoon. And if Clarkson scores, we're playing some more baseball. You got 2 outs and 2 on for the Dragons. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Now you're down to your last strike. And boy, it just happens in a hurry. It caught me off guard there. Look at how far he's choked up. Clarkson has choked way up on the bat. And there's the ball game. Strike 3, and that'll do it. First strikeout for Austin Shirley. And that's a 0 on the board for Paris. And it'll be a short and run rule victory for Tyler Junior College today. Final line score, 16 runs on 13 hits, no errors. For Paris, 4 runs on 9 hits. The Dragons commit 1 error. And let's go ahead and wrap this one up and get you on your way and set the table for the last 2 regular season games of the year for the Apaches. Are going to be at Hub Hollis Field. And let's just see if we can pull up the. No, not going to work on that one. Let's try it again on this one. Individual stats for the Paris Dragons here. I'm not sure when you get the live stats on a computer screen, it wants to be a little glitchy. All right, now we got it. I'll just tell you, those of you who have experienced the same thing I have, if you refresh that page, it usually kind of helps you out there. So on the Paris side of the box score, they end up scoring 4 runs on 9 hits and commit 1 error. If you look up and down their box score, star of the game offensively, you had 2 guys with more than 1 hit. Nadav Macklin was 2 for 4 today with a run scored. Javier Rodriguez 2 for 3 today. He scored 1 and drove 1 in. And that's about it. No one else had more than 1 hit. They would get 9 hits in this ball game as the coaches talk things over at home plate. They'll be back facing each other on Friday, 1 o'clock doubleheader at Hub Hollis. You're going to have to keep an eye on the weather, I'll tell you that. We're supposed to get a considerable amount of rain between now and Friday. I think Paris now has turfed their field, so that should help the cause. But game day, you just got to obviously keep an eye on it. But on the pitching side of it for the Dragons, they would use 4 different pitchers today. Ryder Callaway would start this game. He would only go 2/3 of an inning, give up 1 hit, 5 runs. All 5 of those runs were earned. He walked 3, struck out 1 Apache. Callaway would face 7 batters and throw 28 pitches. In the first inning, he would turn it over to the left-hander from North Richland Hills, Riley Wood. Wood would go an inning and 1/3, give up 8 hits, 6 runs. All 6 were earned. He would walk 1 and strike out 2. Wood would face 12 batters and would tally 51 pitches in his outing today. Then it was Brock McCowan for 2/3 of an inning. He would give up 2 hits, 5 runs. All 5 were earned. 2 walks, no strikeouts. McCowan would face 7 batters and it would throw a total of 23 pitches. The final pitcher for Paris would be Caden White, and the redshirt freshman from Jeffersonville, Indiana. 1 1/3 innings, 2 hits, no runs. He would not walk anyone. He would not strike anyone out. He would face 6 batters, and Caden White would throw a total of 21 pitches in today's ballgame. For the Apaches, on the offensive side of it, James Rasek in that leadoff spot. Another good ball game, 2 for 4 for James today. He would score 1 and drive 1 in. As we go down the box score, Davis Perkins, 1 for 3 hitter today. And Perkins would score twice for the Apaches. Landry Stamps, a 1 for 3 day. He would score twice today. Micah Roberts, 1 for 2. He would score 1, and Roberts would also drive 1 in. Sac fly to center. Garrett Hayes, a 1 for 3 day, but that one was a big one, a 3-run home run. He would score twice, would Hayes. He would also drive 3 in. There is the 2:59 right on time here at the ballpark. Train going outside the right field fence. Cal Fingelson, a 1 for 1 day. Cal would score 3 times today, and he would drive 1 in. He got the bases loaded hit batter in the first inning, so that's where his RBI came from. Ben Koch, 1 for 2 today. Ben would score twice, and Koch would also drive 2 runs in today's ball game. Noah Felton, 2 for 2. He would score 3 times. Felton would drive in 2 for the Apaches. And Chase Fuentes, 3 for 3 today. Fuentes, 6 RBI on the day. What a day for the Apache catcher. 3 for 3 with 6 driven in. And so a good day for the Apache offense. They score 16 runs on back-to-back days. A little different today, though. Yesterday they gave up 21 runs to the Coyotes from Weatherford. Today they limit the Paris Dragons to only 4 runs on 9 hits. And so on the pitching side of it, boy, what a nice job by Jackson Jordan. And he will get the win in this run rule shortened game. 4 innings pitched for Jackson Jordan, 7 hits, 4 runs. They were all earned runs. He would walk 2 and strike out 2. Jackson Jordan faced 21 batters in this ball game, and he would throw a total of 77 pitches today. He gave the ball to Austin Shirley. Shirley came in to pitch that last inning in the 5th. Shirley would give up 2 hits, no runs. He would walk 1. He would strike out 1. Austin Shirley faced 5 batters, and he would throw a total of 16 pitches. And so this win, the winning pitcher will be Jackson Jordan. He will take his record to 5-1. Your losing pitcher is going to be Ryder Callaway. Callaway now will drop his record to 1-1 on the season as a pitcher. The Dragons' overall record now will be 31-18, and in Region 14 North play, they will drop to 15-13. The Apaches win their 31st game of the year. That ties the Dragons for number of wins by a Region 14 North club. They're 31-18 after today's win, and in conference play, they move up to 17-11. And so their bid to host the regional tournament stays alive after this first game as they score 16 runs on 13 hits. And game time, let's look at the schedule real quick here and make sure it's I think it's a 1 o'clock doubleheader at Hub Hollis up in Paris on the campus of Paris Junior College. And let's see here, Friday, 1 o'clock. So that should be streamed by TSBN, and we'll double check on that one. I have actually done games from Paris before, and if TSBN isn't doing it, we may go up there and do it. Boy, there's not an easy way to get to Paris. I'm just telling you, it's 2 hours. You got to zigzag your way through East Texas, but we'll double check on the stream. Sure would love to bring those games to you if Paris is not going to stream them, or if TSBN is not going to stream them. So we'll make some phone calls to make sure that somebody gets up there to stream those games, because those are important ones for the Apaches. If they're able to sweep, and more than likely right now, I'll just tell you, if you look at the schedule for Region 14 North, Northeast and Navarro are not playing early. They're playing Wednesday, Saturday. So no matter how things figure out and shake out for the Apaches on Friday, we're going to have to wait till Saturday evening to decide, to figure out who we're playing and where we head. Even if we sweep, that will not guarantee anything until Northeast and Navarro finish up their series. So we'll keep an eye on the scoreboard tomorrow for sure, as those two teams will square off on at a single 9-inning game. And I'm not sure. I'll double check the schedule to see just where that game is going to be played, because Saturday is a home game for Northeast. So tomorrow will be in Corsicana. And I believe Northeast, by the way, just so you know, Northeast does have live stats. So Navarro does some live streaming. I don't think they do any commentary, but the games will be on. But you can keep up if you want to on the live stats to see how those games shake out. Again, what the Apaches need out of that series to be the number 1 seed and host the playoffs here next weekend would be Navarro 2 wins and 1 loss. And so we'll see how tomorrow shakes out. All the Apaches can do is all they've done today is took care of business. They've got to go up to Paris now and continue to do that and hope that they get some favorable results in that other conference series. But that'll wrap things up for a Tuesday, a rare Tuesday, maybe the only Tuesday game we played all season here at Mike Carter Field. But for the whole athletic department at Tyler Junior College, that'll include our athletic director, our fearless leader, Mr. Doug Wren, the AD, our associate AD, Preston Caldwell. He just walked through the press box and grabbed the computer for the sound. And so appreciate what Preston does for our department. Associate AD for sports information is Carson Myers. What a great job he does telling the stories of all the coaches and players and staff in our athletic department. So big shout out to Carson. Our athletic coordinator is Leah Davis, and boy, she keeps us all on our P's and Q's back at WAG Gym. So thank you, Leah, for all you do for us. On the PA today, we had a new voice. Hadn't been a while since we heard Jeremy Boyd up here, but he did an outstanding job, as he always does. And on the scoreboard was Bryce Mouse. thanks, Bryce, for doing a good job keeping us all informed on that scoreboard. And, of course, Dane Parlin on the live stats, doing a great job. Thanks for watching. Thanks be to God who gives us the victory through Jesus Christ our Lord. This could be our last broadcast of the season. So if it is, I just want to say thank you to all of you who have given us some great feedback over the season. I've gotten so much on the emails and even in person. Some of you have pulled me aside and expressed your appreciation for what we do and how we do it. And, boy, it's a joy to do these things. It's a fun hobby for me. I'll be headed up to Ohio to actually get back in the dugout as the head coach of the Xenia Scouts in the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League. So looking forward to that. Been a few years since I've been in the dugout. I've been a general manager in the Alaska League for the last couple of summers. Last summer, took a little bit of a sabbatical, and my wife and I reconnected with our 6 adult kids and our 7 grandkids. And now we're back at it a little bit. It's an Athletes in Action sports ministry team that's part of the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League. So we'll look forward to being a part of seeing a lot of young men's lives change this summer for the good. And so we appreciate the opportunity and the privilege it is to be a part of that. And if we don't see some of you until next year, some of you, your boys will be moving on to the 4-year level or on to the rest of their lives, depending on what life has for them. But for many of you, you will be back next year. And so we'll look forward to calling some more games, Lord willing, next season. But it's been my joy to do this. And until next time, this is Dr. John Gross signing off. Again, the Apaches are 16-4 winners over the Paris Dragons. They keep their hope alive to win the conference title and host the playoffs here. And we'll finish this series up on Friday at Paris. But until next time, so long, everybody.